Hello, my name is Magda. Welcome to my channel. This is my first ever video blog, vlog, diary, whatever you want to call it. So welcome and thank you so much for joining me today. I decided to document my journey of getting healthy, losing about 40 pounds, I hope, in the end, and just getting control back over my body. To put things in perspective for you, I have been struggling with a bunch of random things that made me feel like a hypochondriac for almost 5 years. And finally, I have a diagnosis. I know that my thyroid is not working enough. I have hypothyroidism. It's confirmed. I started drugs, and there's a whole lot more stuff to do, but I finally, I'm literally giddy because I saw my endocrinologist for the first time this morning, and I feel like there's light at the end of the tunnel, like there's a solution. So in this video, I'm going to first tell you a little bit about kind of my journey, what happened until now, and the plan moving forward. And I hope that you will watch additional videos and we can go on this journey together. And if you have struggled with weight or with thyroid or with anything in between, please leave a comment and let's support each other through this, because I'm smiling ear to ear now because I'm legit happy that there's a solution and a path forward. But it's been really frustrating. I won't say that it's been tough, because it's not like, I'm mobilized, and there's people who have much worse conditions than I do. So I don't want to be the person who's like, oh, look at me, I'm so sick. I'm not. But it's been frustrating, and it's been years of this up and down. So if you've been through the same thing as me, I empathize, but also there's hope. So let's support each other, and hopefully we'll all get through it. So first, a bit of background. I am 42, and as of this morning, at the endocrinologist, I weighed 194.7 pounds. When I weighed myself on my home scale, it was 192.9 pounds. That's the heaviest I've ever been. I've always been heavy-ish, but my healthy weight, my steady healthy weight, has been around the 156-ish pounds mark. So definitely 190 something is, 40 pounds more than what I was used to being. And I'm 42 now, like I said, but all of this started about, 5 years ago is when I went to the doctor for the first time. And what I thought at the time was happening is that maybe I was pre-diabetic. I was getting super tired, especially after eating. The tips of my fingers and toes would get, quite cold and tingly sometimes, but nothing crazy. And I started gaining weight. So nothing in my life has changed, but the weight started coming on. And I thought, okay, I'm in my mid-30s at this point. Hormones change, I get it. So maybe that's just what it is. But I went to see a doctor just in case it was something, pre-diabetic. And turned out it wasn't. I also did start kind of recognizing my anxiety at that point. So we kind of ended up agreeing that maybe what was happening is anxiety. So that's when I started anti-anxiety meds, and hoped that things would get better. And my symptoms just kind of kept adding slowly, to the point where sometimes I would email my doctor or go to the doctor, and I would feel downright stupid saying that listen, I just know that something is off. I sometimes felt like I really was a hypochondriac because I was looking for something to be wrong when there wasn't anything wrong based on what I was, being given feedback on. So the weight kept going up. If I can figure it out now, I'll put a graph, but if not, I will definitely include a graph in a future video, and I'll post it on my Instagram. Magda makes it. So follow me there if you want to. But yeah, my weight just kept going up and up in a nice, wonderful straight line. And, the tiredness kept increasing. And now like I got used to it, right? Like you do something long enough, it becomes a habit. It becomes just, normal. And for me, what the normal has become is that, like, I know that after a meal, I can be relied upon brain-wise after a meal because I get tired. And again, I've raised this with doctors, but like everyone gets a little tired after they eat, right? Because the blood goes into your belly and stuff happens and it's just normal. So, um, you know, kind of let that go. Um, I got into a really regular nap schedule. So I nap every single day, no matter what, because I can't function. So like some days it's, like it's after lunch always, but between like 1:30 and 3 o'clock latest is when I nap. And the naps have been getting longer and longer. They started with, the nice 20-minute refresher. And, recently they've gone up to an hour and a half. So not really naps, but more like sleeping. So that also worried me. I've had belly problems. I apologize if I insult, the more delicate viewers, but I've been pretty farty. So again, like, I don't know if flatulence was anything, but again, like you get used to things, right? But over time, like my belly has gotten a little bit worse, I would say. So, because all these things were just adding up little by little by little, I just learned to live with them. A long time ago, like young time, 12 years ago now, 13 years ago, I had a back injury, which ended up with some fun spine stuff, which I'll talk about in another video. Long story short, I got used to having really bad pain. So I'm used to having to get used to stuff. Anyway, what has finally happened is when I hit the 190 mark on the scale, I actually had been using a meal and exercise tracking app for a few weeks at that point. So if anything, I was more aware of my activities and of my eating. I mean, I literally knew the calories I was consuming, right? So you would not expect weight to keep going up. You would at least expect some sort of steadiness after, I think it was, I don't want to lie to you, but I think it was like 5 weeks total that I was tracking. Anyway, it went up to 190 and it was just so freaking depressing. And, by now I've already, most of my clothes don't fit. And I would just feel like shit about myself and just, I sew. So I made these overalls, crazy pink overalls. I sew, so like I would make some clothes to make me kind of, feel happy. But the reality was that like 80-90% of my clothes don't fit right now. My boobs have gotten bigger, my arms have gotten bigger, my bum, my stomach. And yeah, a few weeks ago, my sister and I were going out for dinner or something, and I wanted to wear these particular pair of pants that's actually quite stretchy, and I put them on. Whew, man. Like, I put them on because they're stretchy, but I could see bumps that I had not seen before. And like, honestly, I just sat down on my bed and started crying. Don't know if Nika knows this. I don't know. I think she just thought I was sad, but I was like legitimately crying about it. And then I tried on other things and just nothing fit. So I decided to go see my doctor again and ask for another thyroid test. And I told her, I'm like, look, maybe something else is up, but something is up. Like, this is not okay. I literally don't know what else to do, save for like starving myself and, quitting my job so I can exercise and do nothing else. I used to be the person who would have her morning tea and afternoon tea, and like not the English version, but like actual cup of tea and piece of cake or whatever. But I stopped doing that at least a year ago. So I don't snack anymore. In the evening I do sometimes, but like nothing crazy. Like, I don't know, I'll have a glass of wine. And yeah, I know that all these things add up potentially, but point is, like, I've done enough of the calorie tracking, and I've done enough reductions of the things that I used to do, that it should have added up to at least steadiness, if not weight loss. The snacks alone, like if I think about it, I would have a slice of cake back in the days when, you know, I was my normal weight. I'd have a slice of cake and tea around like 10:30-ish. Then I would have lunch. Then I would have another something sweet in the afternoon. And then I would have dinner around, let's say 7:30. And it's possible that even I would have dessert. So like I cut out the 3 sweets. I eat dinner earlier now. Lunch is my biggest meal, so I try to eat a smaller dinner. I think I've done well enough. So anyway, long story, very long story short. I went to the doctor. We did the thyroid test, and guess what? I'm finally steadily in the range that's considered hypothyroid, which means my thyroid is not doing its thing, and that affects a whole bunch of other processes in the body. And for some people, because it's not guaranteed, but for some people, weight gain is one of those things. So that's where I ended up. And this morning, so kind of next steps. So that's the history, right? So what happened today and why I'm so excited is because I finally got to see an endocrinologist. So I've started on thyroid meds, you know, super low dose, because the way that you do it is you calibrate, right? You take the, you start on the thyroid meds, it's called levothyroxine, I think. Yeah. So you start on them, then you do every 4 to 6 weeks, you take the blood test again, and then based on that, your dose gets adjusted. Or, you know, if you're doing fine, if your levels are good, then that's where you stay. So I started the medication, but the conversation I had with the, I was going to say my vet, I always say that, not with the vet, with the endocrinologist, was that she explained to me that it's actually a misnomer that hypothyroidism and weight gain necessarily go hand in hand. A lot of people start medication and the weight does not change because there's something else that's also happening. So based on kind of my history and symptoms and whatnot, we are going to also check for Cushing's disease. I hopefully don't have it. She doesn't think I have it, but what Cushing's is just like the thyroid doesn't, produce enough of the hormone that it needs to produce when it's underactive like mine. Sometimes you also get tumors on the pituitary or on, which is on behind the thyroid. Sorry, thyroid's here, pituitary's in your brain. But like, if you kind of go like this, I don't know. The surgery they do for it, you go through a nose. So if you picture like going straight through the nose, right behind your sinuses, that's where the pituitary gland is. So sometimes you get a tumor on the pituitary, or you get a tumor on the adrenal. The adrenal glands are the ones that are on your kidneys. And those tumors then change how your body produces, is it cortisone or cortisol? I always forget the difference. The one that's correct, cortisol or cortisone? No, cortisol, right? Cortisone is the stuff you put on. Yeah, I think it's cortisol, the stress hormone. Anyway, when that happens, it throws off other stuff in your body, and especially combined with, thyroid issues, you can basically get a hormonal mess and a whole bunch of effects happen. And with Cushing's, she said that weight gain is actually quite common. And at that point, I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. Guess who else has Cushing's? My Sailor dog, who happens to be here just now. Hello, Sailor. Come say hi. Doggy. Sailor. Hi. This is Sailor. Sailor is 14 and a half. He's my doggy and my best friend. And Sailor has Cushing's. Sailor got diagnosed with Cushing's almost a year ago now, I think. But with him, it was also kind of crazy. Bunch of random symptoms, and weight gain was one of them. and loss of like, anyway, he's a dog, so it's different than a human. Long story short, he has Cushing's, and he has the kind that's on the pituitary, which in dogs, at least, it's better because then it's treatable. I think if it's on the adrenal in dogs, it's much harder to treat. So anyway, it's a lifelong thing, but they do treat it. So Sailor gets medication. Oh, my baby dog, scratching his ears. Sailor gets medication in the morning and in the evening every single day, and he's doing so much better. And he's 28 pounds now, which is a healthy weight for him. And before all of this medication stuff, before the diagnosis for him, he was 31 pounds. So literally nothing else has changed except medication for him. And, you know, my Mr. Dog dropped 3 pounds. So same thing in doggies as in humans. So anyway, so we're going to do some fun tests for that. And the way that works is I will take a steroid pill. I think it's a steroid pill or steroid stimulate. I don't know, something to do with steroids. I'm going to take a pill in the evening tonight, and that is meant to that's meant to tell my body something. Okay, I'm not a scientist, but I will look this up and I will link to it in comments. I'll talk about it in the next video. But I take a pill. It's to do with steroids, and then in the morning I go to get my blood drawn, and then based on the level of steroid in my blood is how they tell whether or not it is Cushing's. She doesn't think it's Cushing's because, you know, my weight gain has been so steady and correlates with my thyroid results increasing, so we think it is that. But we have to rule out Cushing's, because if it is Cushing's, then in humans, you don't medicate. You actually, there's a series of different diagnostic tests that you do. And if it is Cushing's, you cut the motherfucker out. So if it's on the pituitary, they go in through your nose. They open up, you know, the sac around your brain, and they yank out the tumor. And if it's on your adrenal, usually it's on just one of the adrenals, you know, because we have 2 kidneys. So we have 2 adrenal glands, one on each kidney. So they figure out which kidney it is, and then they cut off the entire adrenal gland. So fingers crossed, like we don't think it's what it is. I hope that's not what it is, but it is prudent to rule it out. So that's my next step. So I'll do that ASAP. And then, yeah, I'm going to be on the levothyroxine for a few weeks, get my blood checked, and just keep calibrating that until I get to a good level on that hormone. And in the meantime, well, because it's, you know, if it was Cushing's, then once you treat it, then weight loss does like automatically, quote unquote, happen. But since we don't think it's Cushing's, that's unlikely. Just because I'm on the thyroid medication doesn't mean I'm actually going to lose any weight. So we're also going to see if my insurance can cover, there's like an injectable thing that you inject yourself once a week that's supposed to help you if you have, it's for diabetics, I think. It's a weight loss treatment. And I'm also going to go to, I think it's called, through the Cardiac Institute, I'm going to go to a weight management program where they help you with a combination of, you know, lifestyle, diet, exercise, and medication to lose weight. Yes, I could do it the traditional way, but it's been 40 pounds minimum. I mean, 40 pounds is when I started noticing it and getting worried. It's possible that, you know, what I thought, you know, in the mid 150s was normal, that even was maybe too heavy. I don't know. But at least the 40 pounds is what I need to drop. So I do want to do it as soon as it's healthy for me to do. You know, one of the biggest drivers is that, like, it really makes me freaking sad, right? Like when I try to get dressed and like things don't fit. I think I will feel better now because I understand that it's not all in my head. It's not because maybe I am objectively lazy or something. It's sounds stupid, but like I'm glad to know that my hormones are messed up, that my thyroid is messed up, because knowledge is power, and now I can do something about it. So anyway, this is day one. Thank you for watching. If you want to go on this journey with me, please like and subscribe the video. If you want to look at photos along the way of this and my creatures and other stuff, then please go to my Instagram. I am Magda Makes It, one word, both on YouTube and on Instagram. So I hope to see you there. And I'm also Magda Makes It on Medium, I think. I should be. So on Medium, I started writing a little bit again. Just, you know, thoughts. And yeah, pick your poison. I hope to see you in any and all of those places. And I will do my best to do this daily because it feels good. If nothing else, like it feels like I legitimately feel good talking about this. Yeah, like I feel lighter. It's like I've always known that knowledge is power, and in other situations when something was confirmed, speaking just in general terms, right? Not just health, but like life. Like it feels good when you know that you're not crazy. But I underestimated just how much this stuff has been weighing on me, and I underestimated what effect it had, yeah, on me, on my self-esteem, on my self-worth, my perception of what I look like, my perception of my lifestyle choices. Like, yeah, I really underestimated that. I just wrote it off to, well, maybe you're just getting older, you know, maybe you're just gonna be chunkier and that's fine. But then, like, I don't know, I'm talking in circles. Point is that it felt pretty shitty. And I know that there's a long journey ahead in terms of weight loss, in terms of understanding what is happening in the thyroid and maybe pituitary and adrenal, but, you know, knock on wood, hopefully it isn't, because that's, you know, much more invasive. I don't want surgery, obviously. But yeah, I feel like I have a path now. I feel like I have some answers, and I understand the next steps for getting the rest of the answers, and it feels pretty good. So thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and I will see you here most likely tomorrow. Thank you.